Hey guys, Danny Johnson here, and today I wanted to talk about my YouTube channel in general. I've had some questions about it. I've had questions about getting started with YouTube, how much it pays, all that kind of thing. So I thought I'd throw a video together, just give you a general update on the channel and answer a lot of these questions if I can, and just talk about the channel generally speaking. So as you can see now, we've just passed 18,000 subscribers on the channel, which to me is a good milestone. However, 18,000 subscribers in some ways isn't a lot, considering that the channel has over 8 million views. And so we'll get into some analytics here later in the video and find out that basically my channel, being a repair video channel, is one that people will search on a weekend. They'll try to find an answer, they get their answer. Some of them don't even have YouTube accounts, and so also, not telling people to subscribe has been a reason why a lot of subscribers haven't come. Now, something else to mention is the channel now has over 28 million minutes of watch time. And if you calculate that out, I'm not quite 35 yet, but even 35 years is only 18 million minutes. So it makes you stop and think on a couple of things. Number one, what kind of content are you putting out there? And number two is this is quite the way to contribute your life to others, because as you can see, if I am now put out more content minutes on watch time than I've been alive, that's a way that you can contribute your life. I can show somebody in person how to fix a car, and you know, that's one for one. Every minute that I'm showing somebody, they're learning something. But in this case, you can spread yourself with the internet and be in anywhere at any time of the day and show multiple people how to repair something at the same time. So with that, I'm very grateful for YouTube and the opportunity that I've had as an accomplishment to be able to help people with their repairs. So I'll touch briefly on where I got my start with YouTube. And so I was putting a new clutch in the Mach 1 that I bought. So I bought the car with a bad transmission, knowing that. And so as I was taking it apart, I could not get the transmission to separate from the block, and no matter what I looked at in the manual, I could not find the answer. So I jumped on the forums and eventually found somebody who was nice enough to call me and talk to me, and we worked it through and found that it was the dust cover bolts that are in the front of the transmission on the dust shield that were still connecting the transmission and not letting it separate. So with that said, I jumped on forums after that, having experience with doing a clutch, and I said, I was writing these big long paragraphs and repeating myself over and over and over again to everybody who was having similar questions. And I said, the next time that this happens, I'm just going to make a video. So I found YouTube, made an account, and I did a step-by-step video. And I thought, I don't care if people like it or don't like it. I'm going to show every step involved, one thing at a time. And, I thought that I'd actually get kind of made fun of like, why are you showing so much detail? But in the opposite, I've actually had a lot of people very grateful and compliment me and say, thank you for showing every part of the way, because so many other videos just skip it. So anyway, I'd go to the break room during lunch and I would check up on my videos, and I was amazed to see it go from 12 views to 500 views, and throughout a few weeks it jumped to 5,000 views, to 10, 15,000, 25,000. So the videos were catching on, and I thought, well, if this is helping people, I'm just going to make a video every time I do a different repair. And time has added up as I've done all these repairs with my brother, who's as Mustang crazy as I am. So we've had the opportunity to make over 700 videos on these cars. Now, I later got into other videos like doing the rear end gears in the Mach 1, and I found that a lot of people wouldn't watch it. It still had a good amount of views, but a lot of people won't take on certain projects, and so it was good. And even if I make the video and one person enjoys it and it helps them out, it's still worthwhile to me. But anyway, that's what I had also learned, is that you can make a very in-depth, very description video, and maybe you won't have a lot of views on it. So don't get into YouTube trying to be all about the views or all about the money. Do it as something that you enjoy doing and helping people. I think that's the most important part. And so now let's look at the traffic source. A lot of my videos come from people searching it on YouTube. A lot of them come from suggested videos, so somebody's watching a video about a Mustang and then mine's going to pop up. External is when people at forums are talking about the videos, and it's really nice when somebody else recommends my videos. I enjoy just that they're able to find them. And searching other people's videos is a way that mine are found. And so as you can see here, sometimes there's videos that somebody's watching, they don't really like it, and they find mine and they think it's a little better description, and so they enjoy that. And the advice that I give is, it doesn't matter if somebody else already has a video on the topic. They might like the way you do it better. They might like your style. They might like you as a host, okay? Growing up, there were several sitcoms that were similar, like Full House and Family Matters. And you know what? People like one over the other for different reasons. And so just don't think that just because somebody's already made content covering the Mustang, for example, that you can't do the same thing. Okay, so the big question that I get is, how much money do you make on YouTube? Okay, the answer is, it's not enough to live on entirely. And so it's actually not a lot of money at all. It's less. The average comes out to about half of a penny per view. Okay, so the thing is, if you also look at the first years of the channel, I had a channel just because I wanted one, but I wasn't really posting content. And so you can see the first years there was no monetization, no money whatsoever. And at the time, then you had to have 10,000 views before you could monetize. YouTube's also come back now, and you have to have 1,000 subscribers and 10,000 views before you monetize. So that can take for a little while to get used to, and maybe in another video I can talk to you about how you can also make money other ways than just the ads that they play. But the whole point is, don't start your channel thinking that it's gonna just be a huge way to make money. It takes a long time to get a subscriber base, to get videos, to get everything going. And when you do have that, like I said, the average is about half of a penny per view. So the channel right now has grown, and it's averaging about 300,000 views every month. And so that's making it so it's a substantial amount of revenue for what it is, being a side hobby and a nice little bonus every month. But don't get involved into YouTube solely for the money, or you will most likely be very disappointed. Okay, also, after making $600 a year, if you're over that amount, you will get a 1099 and have to pay taxes on it, so keep that in mind. And just while we have this graph up, you'll notice that at the beginning of each year, you have a real big drop on your monetization. And so basically what that is as companies are deciding how much they're going to spend on ads for the following year, and before they commit to that and buy the ads, they have to get together every January, go over their budget. So you always see kind of a drop at the beginning of the year. Other than that, it's pretty consistent, but it also depends on the channel. So once again, keep in mind, what you're seeing here is over 700 videos all contributing, some of them going viral, some of them not even making 2 cents a month. It's just how it is. Also, make sure you're not using copyrighted songs or anything to demonetize you, because that can happen. And you want to make sure you're not putting out content that's too controversial or political or anything like that, so that you don't mess with your ratings. The next thing, let's talk about subscribers. You always hear people saying, hey, like and subscribe to the video. And in the beginning, I didn't want to do that. I figured if somebody wanted to subscribe, they would subscribe. If somebody wanted to like the video, they'd like it. I didn't want to force anybody or tell anybody to do that. But it turns out that a lot of people need to be reminded. And so it is a good practice as you're starting out in your channel to please ask people to subscribe to the channel. And as we mentioned earlier with traffic sources and all that, my channel has a lot of people who found what they were looking for, and if I had asked them to subscribe, they probably would have. Now, the exponential growth is really how this magic of YouTube works, and as you can see, we've gained 8,500 subscribers in 1 year, and we're a total of 18,000. So in 1 year, we've almost accrued half of our subscribers, and so that's just something to understand, is that exponential growth, the snowball effect, is how you really start to get ahead with YouTube. So these are my overall all-time best videos, talking about the supercharger, talking about the Pitman arm on the truck, how to change the clutch, and all that kind of works its way in there. But what I want to show you is that if you don't diversify, then your channel will be one-minded. And as you can see, I have all these videos that are actually across different platforms. So even though my channel is about the Ford Mustang, I have videos on a lot of different cars, and that's actually what brings a lot of your subscriber base as you affect different people and start to branch out a little bit. Now, country-wise, I'm mainly in the United States is the biggest, and then it goes down and down, and it's cool to see all the other countries coming on board. Now, here's a tip and technique I want to bring up. I made a full clutch install video. Okay, it took me a long time. That's the top video. You can see it's up to 5.3 thousand views. It's on the 0304 Cobra, so kind of a specific car. Not as much as my other Mustang video clutch for sure. But what I want you to pay attention is with only 5,000 views, okay, now look at the video underneath this. 66,000 views just on putting the throwout bearing into the clutch fork. Okay, it comes from the same video, but I made a sub video out of all of it because somebody who knows how to change a clutch might only be looking for that one piece of information that they forgot. Okay, and the same thing with an F-150 video here, I'll show you. I did this huge long series on changing the entire transmission. Maybe people aren't going to try to take on a job that is that involved, but along the way there's other things that you do when removing the transmission, like taking off the drive shaft or the transfer case or other parts. With that said, make videos on that part because they're not going to go looking for a transmission video when they need to take off the transfer case or the starter or something like that. So that's really important. Now, putting your videos into playlists is a good way to get people involved. As you can see, changing the transmission, my Yukon videos, they're all doing pretty well. If you create a playlist with your videos in it, that helps people get involved with those videos and they go into the next one, the next one, the next one. So that really helps to watch your playlist as well as just the video. But branching out again is what I want to talk about, because even though I'm primarily about the Mustang, I have videos about the Yukon, I have videos about my truck, and you know, every aspect that every repair I've done. Just because I've done it on the Mustang doesn't mean I can't do it on these other cars. And so you'll see I already have 44 videos and counting on the Yukon, and that's becoming one of my more popular things. I also have videos on my friend's Nissan truck, my Infiniti G35, and you know, all these different cars. And so don't you know, just be tunnel visioned here. Branch out to all the different things that you can do. I even have videos on the GTR, which, you know, has been great for the channel. Now, it's also important, in my opinion, to post content on what you're doing in general. What projects are you working on? I did videos on programming the garage door remote with the smartphone and with the remote. And, you know, at first it was kind of like, why am I making this video? It's not really in line with my channel, but they've become some of my most popular videos and also the highest generating for revenue. As you can see, I've also made a video on a car seat review, which, you know, my wife laughed at first, but it's doing pretty well. And if you look at my top videos of all time, a lot of them don't have to do with the Mustang. I mean, you had the supercharger one, but then cleaning coins, you know, so we're 50% there. Now we have the removing a speed limiter. Okay, that's somewhat car related. But then you get into, you know, how to program the garage door remote. So once again, you know, don't be tunnel vision and be free to branch out and cover multiple things on your channel. Some people will like it, some won't. But anyway, that's the way to branch out. Think of a tree. It's just a trunk at the bottom. But if you want to grow, you got to branch out, you know, and have all the leaves and everything up top collecting all the sunlight or views that you can. I had one person I was talking to say, well, I don't think I could ever do a channel because I don't think I could handle it if somebody was ever making fun of me. And so the point is, with YouTube, that's going to happen no matter what. You have people who are jealous because you might be showing them something that they know how to show other people too, but they're not getting the credit. You might have people who are just going to misjudge you anyway. I mean, even look at Christ. He was, you know, a perfect person and still ridiculed, mocked, and crucified. So just understand that that's going to be part of it, and you just can't let it get to you. Don't worry about it. Don't fight back with them. The best thing to do is just ignore them. But just know that that is going to be part of it. And, you know, I've had people who try to critique and break down my channel and say, I've been around for X amount of years, and you divide the 8 million views out by how many years, it's really not that much. And you can get into it and explain, I haven't been doing content until 2017, like consistent content or whatever, but in the end, it's just not worth going the rounds with them. If they don't like the content, tell them to move on. But do expect that you will get criticized on YouTube. It's a big, you're putting yourself in front of millions and millions of people. So that's just the world that we live in. I mean, you have people who don't even have a channel at all, or one view, and they're gonna try to tear you down for anything that you've done. So, and you can tell them, well, once you have your channel, then you'll have room to talk. But like I said, in the end, just ignore them. It's not even worth the hassle. Just remember one of my favorite quotes: when you wrestle with a pig, you both get dirty, but the pig likes it. Now, people do want consistent content coming. It's like watching a TV show every week, and they're going to lose interest unless you are putting out content each week. At least one video per week at the minimum is what you should probably shoot for. Now, on top of that, video log, that's a big thing. A lot of people like to know what's going on behind the scenes. I've had that request several times, and even though my channel was more of a DIY, help you figure out a repair kind of a channel, I started doing some video logs on the side, and you know what? A lot of them don't make a lot of money, and that's fine. It's for your subscribers. It's so that they can, get the content that they like. So in conclusion, my advice, do YouTube as a hobby, something you love, something you want to share, something you want to help people with, and that's going to bring you the most satisfaction. Here I have a few comments, and as you see, it's very fun to get comments like this and have the knowledge that you're helping people. People reach out and say how grateful they are for your content, and it's helped them out. And just the smallest little things like that, I think, is what's going to bring you the most satisfaction. And over time, if you can get a good enough channel together, and then it's great to have a little kickback and a little bit of a bonus each month. But there are ways to make money with YouTube as you progress. And other things other than just the monetization. But the point is, if you want to have a good, fun YouTube channel, do something that you love, that even if you didn't get paid for, just like me in the beginning, I wasn't expecting to get a dime, that you're doing what you want to do to help people and to enjoy your hobby. If you're putting out the good content, then these comments will come. I mean, some of these I enjoy reading, just knowing I'm helping people, and some people just saying that they were stuck at a gas station and found the video and was able to change their spare tire, and things like that are really fun to read, and it's really nice to know that you're contributing to humanity in that way. But anyway, that's my advice overall, is do something that you love, do something that can help other people. So anyway, put in the comments what you think, and thanks for being part of the channel. If you're not, feel free to subscribe and like the videos, and as always, thanks for watching.